welcome back to my subscribers, and welcome if this is the first time you're joining me. My name is Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki master, spiritual coach, and an intuitive tarot card reader. And through the work I'm doing here on YouTube, as well as Instagram, TikTok, and my own website, odessamal.com, I deliver messages to you that will help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. So today is a really special reading. I'm doing a collaboration with Zeke from Trick or Treat Tarot. He has a really fun channel. He's super into Halloween, so it's Halloween all year long on his channel. So if that sounds good to you, definitely check out his work. And of course, check out at least his half of this collaboration. We are focusing on fear this week. So I am going to be doing a reading where I dive into what fear you're running away from and how will you slay it. And Zeke is going to be looking at what fear are you manifesting currently in your life. So definitely check out his half of the reading once you're done here. I've got 3 piles for you guys to select from. Pile number 1 is partnered with black kyanite, a protective stone. It puts a protective barrier around you and helps you to cut energetic cords. Pile number 2 is partnered with this black candle. Black candles are used in banishing spells to eliminate negative, low vibrational people or energy from your life. And then pile number 3 is partnered with sage. Sage, among other herbs, are used for smoke clearing, to remove spirit energies, low vibrational energies, anything toxic from your environment or your own energetic field. So I will give you guys a second to select your pile. I'm going to give you a close-up of the cards and the items in just a second, and I will see you in a moment. Hi, pile number 1, welcome back. So you picked the black kyanite, and I'm so excited to dive into these cards. Before we do, I want to let you know I'm running a contest this month. You can win a free mini reading with me. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, and then on the first of the month, I will announce the winner. And I love hearing about how the reading resonated with you guys and getting to chat with you. It's amazing. And just so you guys know, in case you missed the intro, this is a collaboration with Zeke of Trick or Treat Tarot. So definitely check out his half of the reading. The link is below. Okay, so let's find out what fear you guys are running away from, and then I will dive into the tarot to find out exactly how you're going to slay this fear. So you have the tear, then you have the dream carrier, judgment, hunt, infected, and 7 of Pentacles, and it says, we dare you. Okay. So to start off with, this very first card, the tear. This is talking about holding back our emotions, burying our sadness down very, very deep, and not allowing ourselves to cry, not allowing ourselves to express ourselves naturally. The energy that I get from this particular card is that there has been some sort of pain or influence possibly from others, maybe even society, you know, like it might be an individual, but it might be society, but somewhere along the lines, I feel like you were taught to have a stiff upper lip, grin and bear the pain, and move forward, and not allow yourself to naturally express yourself. Now, it's possible that you made that decision for yourself, but it's definitely being implied that you've cut yourself off from a natural mechanism that will allow you to actually eliminate pain from your system, and that somewhere along the lines you've convinced yourself that the only safe way to approach this pain or fear is to just bury it deep. But ultimately, it's always there. It's festering under the surface. It is infecting you. This card, the infected, implies an infection of the mind, that we are refusing to look at the things that are frightening us, and it is just growing and growing. The fear is getting worse. Now, for some of you, you might actually be afraid of snakes. So you might be so afraid of snakes that you can't even see like a photo of a snake. And you, instead of working towards overcoming that fear, you have just modified your lifestyle to sort of fit around it. It could be you're afraid of bugs, but for some of you, this has to do with a fear of just releasing emotions in general. It could be connected to your mom or someone who played the mothering role. The dream carrier is the Empress and the traditional tarot. And it definitely feels like it is connected to painful memories from the past, things that you would like to keep buried, because this Seven of Pentacles card has an anthropologist on it with Egyptian mummies that are escaping their sarcophagus. And this makes me feel like there are things that you would like to keep buried and hidden. You do not want to unearth these emotions, thoughts, feelings. It is possible that maybe as a child, this wound was created. It's possible that either your caregivers or your family, your community, maybe even like society in general, told you that being emotional was a sign of weakness. This is definitely the case for every single divine masculine, without a doubt. This is that, and that I want you to know that that's pressure on you. If you identify as a divine masculine, you identify as being a man, and you are a cisgendered man, the pressure on you to divorce yourself from your emotions is heavy, and it distorts your natural grieving. It distorts like how you feel about yourself and how you feel about, closeness with people, and pain, that you're only allowed to express your pain in one way. And that's so unhealthy. And I feel like somewhere along the lines, I don't know how this is coming into your life. I mean, and you don't have to be a divine masculine for that to be your wound. Your wound could easily be that you were an empathetic, compassionate, caring person, despite how you identify, and someone along the lines told you that that was not okay. It could also be that you just didn't have your emotional needs met, whether it was by your mom or another caregiver that sort of played that Empress role. But it feels like somebody or some influence is coming into your life now that is trying to get you to look at things from a different perspective. The Judgment card is talking about having a shift in the way we view ourselves and our place in the world. It's like a spiritual awakening, some sort of epiphany. And it could be that you have someone who is very in tune with their emotional nature, possibly a divine feminine that is being a guide and teacher to you, that's inspiring you to look at things from a different perspective, to allow yourself to sort of wade into the waters just a little bit. Whereas before, I feel like there's been people in your past that sort of hunted these feelings within you and wanted to kill them, wanted to eliminate them. You got the hunted card. They might have actually judged you, right? The judgment card could potentially be signifying others judging you and you expressing your feelings. And now I feel like you're so cut off from your emotions that sometimes when you get sad, it's just darkness. It's just all darkness around you. And I think that sometimes we have to shift our perspective on what it would be like to really be in darkness. You know, we all start from darkness. You know, being in the womb is darkness. We're completely cut off from any kind of, you know, extrasensory stimulation. You're just there in water. And water is a symbol of the emotional body, where we are growing inside the amniotic fluids of our mother. And we feel everything through those waters that we're in. And now you have the opportunity to dive back into your own emotional body and break forth anew. Like this is a skull from the top. You know, you're looking at an aerial view of a skull, but it almost feels like this snake is breaking free of an egg, which is a symbol of renewal and rebirth. That you're able to fight back against these feelings, you know? It's like Spirit is saying, we dare you. We triple dog dare you to fight against these feelings inside you. The feelings that are telling you that it's not safe to cry. It's not safe to feel the feelings, that if you feel the feelings, you'll never recover. It'll be a tidal wave that just carries you away. But you may get really emotional. But you do run out of tears eventually, and you feel so amazing. You do. You feel so amazing. And, you know, from a spiritual perspective, there are points of view that connect water and the emotional release with epiphany. So it's like they're saying, your guides are saying to me that until you allow yourself to face those feelings and maybe those demons, you'll never be able to graduate out of this cycle. You'll just be continuously brought back to this point. Just pain, 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 pain. You have to allow yourself to move beyond that. So let me get a couple of cards to find out if there's some other advice for you guys on how you can move past this fear. Yeah. It's amazing. How can pile number 1 move past the fear? Yeah. Okay. So the first card that came out is the 2 of Wands. You're at a crossroads. You have to make a choice. You have to decide, do you want to continue to just feel the pain, the 3 of Swords, deep pain, heartbreak, and continually feel like you are in the darkness, that you have to defend yourself at all costs. This is the 9 of Wands, which is the wounded warrior. You were hurt. You truly were. This pain is real. The people that told you that you're not safe to express your emotions were wrong. They probably have their own deep pains and their own history, and they probably told you that. They're like, if I can do it, you can do it. But it was an unhealthy pattern passed down from generation to generation. It's called intergenerational trauma, where damaged people don't deal with their pain, and they pass that on to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. And when I say damaged people, I don't mean bad people. I mean, they were literally had pain, damage done to them. They were traumatized, you know, and probably by well-intentioning people. But the damage was done regardless. And you have a choice now. You have a choice, because I think your intuition has been telling you this. And I'm telling you this. There's a reason why you're watching this reading. And you're now being given a chalice of love. You're being given an opportunity. And I definitely feel like there's someone new that's come into your life. Maybe they're a friend. You got the Three of Cups as well. Maybe it's this reading. Maybe it is a coworker. Maybe this is a new relationship, a new love interest. And they're telling you that these things have to be faced. These things have to be looked at. These pains have to be released, and you're safe. It's safe now to do that. You're not going to be judged. You're going to be loved and supported even stronger, but you have to be courageous. You have to be brave. And you have to trust that not everyone is going to hurt you. People did hurt you in the past, and they probably tried to, but not everyone is going to be like that. And the only way to change that is to allow yourself to be vulnerable, because that's the only way that someone will be able to get through. You have to trust, and you have to be willing to be hurt again, you know, and allow the universe to prove to you that things can be different. And let's see what other advice your guides and spirit have for you in terms of what you can do to release and slay this pain. What can pile number 1 do to slay the pain and overcome this fear? Oh my God. You got surrender to the divine full moon. Full moons are when the manifestation is at its pinnacle. That's when things come in, and you've got waxing moon. The energy is gaining momentum, and there are 3 birds on this card. 3 birds on this card. Like, there are probably 3 different energies that are coming into your life. They could be 3 people. It could be 3 opportunities. It could be 2 people in one opportunity, right? When I say opportunity, I mean like this. Like, watching this reading is one. And then you know, talk to a really good friend and they mention, you know, a great book that they read or something about that really helped them. Or you hear about a meditation class that's geared on, you know, releasing stress and anxiety, removing blockages, right? Like, there are going to be 3 things that are going to come to you that are going to be opportunities for you to get out of this energy of fear and have a brand new loving beginning. So let me get one final card for you guys. What are the final things that your spirit guides would like you to know about this fear and this opportunity? You have Trink of 5, manifesting money and income. So, you know, for some of you, your fear could be connected to income and money. You know, you might have grown up in a family where you didn't have any money. You didn't have any opportunities. You didn't have any income, and you had to just sort of like overcome the fear and pain of that, you know, not having what other people had, or being hungry, or, you know, seeing opportunities go to other people for, you know, reasons that were beyond, that were not connected to their merit, that were connected to maybe the family they were in, or the ethnic group they were part of, or the religious community they were part of, or, you know, things that you being discriminated and not giving opportunities because of things that were beyond your control. But you've got here fairy magic. Respectfully work with the fairies and elementals to achieve your goal. But there is magic afoot. There is energy around you that wants you to release this energy. Right now, it's like you're going around in circles, like meaning that you're just going back over the same thing over and over and over again. But now is the opportunity for you to release the conflict. 5 is always connected with conflict in tarot. 5 is also the energy of man, humans. So, going back to man again, like this very much could be connected to stifling your emotions because that's not acceptable for the divine masculine in the eyes of the patriarchy, to be perfectly honest. The patriarchy hurts everyone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I hope this was helpful. I know it was heavy, but I'm assuming that you guys probably knew that it would be, considering the topic was all about your fears. So I hope that this was helpful. Please let me know how it resonated. I would love to hear about your experience. And of course, that also enters you into the contest. Definitely check out Zeke's half of the reading. He's going to be looking at what fears you're manifesting. And if any of you guys would like to work with me, please go to my website, odessamall.com. You can look at all of my services and booking information there. I do tarot card readings live and recorded. I also do Akashic Records readings where I can look at your past lives or your future lives. I do Reiki crystal healing, which is transformative and actually can remove blockages like this. So if any of you guys were hoping to work with someone to help you shift some of this energy, because sometimes we don't know how to do that. Sometimes you don't know how to even tap in. You've buried it down so deep, you don't know how to let it go. Reiki is the answer to that. If you see me, amazing. I can work with anyone because I can do distance healing. If you want to work with someone in your area, totally understand. Try it. Like, you won't regret it. It literally changed my life. And I can also do spiritual coaching. So if you wanted to sit down and chat with me about this issue or anything else that's going on in your life, I can give you the mystical, magical, spiritual perspective on things. I love doing this reading for you, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 2, welcome back. So you picked the black candle, and I want to let you know I'm running a contest this month. You can win a free mini reading with me. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and comment on this video. Then on the first of the month, I will announce the winner on my community tab. And please do let me know how this reading resonates. It enters you into the contest, and I love chatting with you guys. I also want to mention, if you missed the intro, this is a collaboration with Zeke from Trick or Treat Tarot. You can see his half of the reading in the link below. So let's find out what fear you're currently running from, and then I will pull out the tarot and we'll find out how you're going to slay that fear. So you have the underworld, the mystic, 5 of Wands, Knight of Coins, Merge, and 10 of Cups. And it says Tales of Fantasy and Suspense, Master of the Dead. All right. Okay. So I see 2 different fears going on here, 2 different interpretations of this. So first, some of you are afraid that there are things that happened in the past that somehow are going to come back to haunt you. It could be people from the past that you disconnected with, people that you would never like to see again because they were toxic to your life. It could be situations with people from the past where you actually are sort of feeling guilty or shame about actions that you took in the past. It was definitely a dynamic where there was a lot of conflict, and it's causing you a lot of internal conflict right now emotionally. It's like these visions are coming back to you. Maybe you're having dreams about different things that happened in the past, and it just keeps like growing inside your own mind is the energy I'm getting. It's like there's an infestation of negative thoughts inside your own mind, and maybe flashbacks, like just memories that just jolt us in the middle of the day where it's like, oh, damn, I haven't thought about that in 10 years. Oh, that makes me feel like crap. Like things like that. It could be that somebody from the past has recently reached out to you. We just finished Mercury retrograde, and a lot of people from the past do typically reach out to us during that time period. And you might be thinking, I am finally stable. I'm feeling good. My life is exactly the way I want it. Like the 10 of Cups is technically, like it's typically a very positive card. You might be going in the right direction. You know, you're finally at a place where you're feeling peace and you want to defend that at all costs. With this Knight of Coins, this Knight has a bow and arrow. You want to defend yourself in your position, and you're afraid of getting dragged down to the bottom with the people that you left behind. There is the energy I'm getting. Like these creepy crawlies just coming up from the depths, whether it's people or whether it's, you know, I kind of get the energy that for some of you, it might even be people that literally are sort of like blackmailing you, or there's the threat of that. You know, you're afraid that they'll come back and you'll have to sort of silence them, and like then you get sucked back in. I'm getting that like line from The Godfather where Pacino says, every time I think I'm out, they suck me back in, that kind of energy. And for the other group of you, the energy I'm getting is that some of you have very strong mystical, spiritual, psychic gifts, and you would be classified as psychic mediums, and you're able to connect with spirit energy, possibly energies of those that have crossed over, and it's getting stronger, and you're afraid that you're going to connect with something evil or negative that you can't control, something from the underworld, like this Master of the Dead. And you may have had experiences with this in the past, like when you were a child, possibly, where there were strong energies that came forward and you buried it down deep. You know, you basically shut yourself off from your gifts. And that's really common. I did that too. You know, like it's scary, like especially when you're little and when you have psychic abilities and you're connecting with these energies and literally nobody believes you because it's not happening to them, or they're in complete denial. And you just shut it down. And it can take a long time for you to like open that back up. For me, like I didn't open it back up for like 20 years. And then even when I did, I still kept it a secret from everyone because I didn't want to be ridiculed by people. So I just kept it to myself. Occasionally I would talk about it, but very casually. And you might be doing the same thing. You might be like, oh, well, I had a ghost experience. You just test the waters with someone, like, here's my ghost story, see how they react. And if they sort of dismiss it, as most people do, they may have a ghost story that they share with you. Most of the time they'll be like, I don't believe in that stuff. Well, immediately you're not going to share anything else with them, right? But now it seems like you are starting to be sort of dragged out of this comfort zone you're sort of in. Like it's kind of like spirit is coming along and saying, nope, this is part of your life purpose, and now it's time for you to step into this role. You have to emerge now as the butterfly, because there's like special events and even a community that you're meant to be part of, and we need to start preparing you now is the energy I'm getting. Like you are meant to start your training basically, but you do have a lot of knowledge that's just sort of locked inside you, right? And it's a matter of you sort of exposing yourself, and little by little you'll start to realize you actually know a lot more than you think you do. You may not know all the terminology, but it's like it just comes to you second nature. You know, it might be a situation where you kind of had always sort of had an idea about how the afterlife worked or how reincarnation works. But you didn't know like all the terminology or anything. You just kind of had a general idea of what made sense to you. And then you start reading literature by known spiritual leaders, and like it's sinking. They're saying the same thing as you. You know, you start reading a book by Edgar Cayce, who is a very famous psychic medium from the 1930s. And he might be describing things and you're like, I knew that, or I've had that experience. That kind of thing is what I'm talking about. But of course, like, I feel like there's two groups here. Like, I feel like there are, you guys are experiencing the same fear, but it's manifesting in your life in different ways. Now, some of you, there might be a cross section of you that's literally relating to both fears that I just described. You have both fears. That, this merge is you. There are two different legs of the same fear inside your mind. It's manifesting in a different way, which is really interesting. So let me get some cards and find out how you guys are gonna overcome this fear that's sort of coming up in your life. How is pile number 2 going to overcome this fear? Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. Oh my, okay. So, the moon. These are the secrets. These are the things that you're afraid are going to come to the surface. These are the shadows that you're afraid of seeing in the middle of the night. These are all of your fears. And the thing about our fears is that it's often linked to things about ourselves that we maybe aren't accepting, or weaknesses that we think we have. I'm not strong enough to be able to defend myself, or a lack of belief in ourselves, And what it looks like is you are going to be confronted with a tower moment. There is going to be a great shock, a great epiphany that is going to come down, and lightning is going to strike at your deepest fear, and you are going to be forced to defend yourself. The Son of Pentacles. You may be in a position right now where you are feeling like you're totally out of your depth and you don't have the skill level to be able to handle this, right? Like if it's a person from the past, you don't have the, vocabulary or the skill to be able to sort of like navigate around this person. If it's spiritual in nature, you don't understand the spiritual realm enough to be able to defend yourself. But that's why this test is coming to you. It's to prove to you that you actually do, that you have the ability to fight back, and that you can take control of everything that's going on. You've got the 5 of Swords in reverse, that you are able to throw down the swords. You don't have to battle people anymore. There is no fight, basically. You don't have to give your cup away anymore. This is the Son of Cups, which is the Page of Cups. You don't have to be at the mercy of other people anymore. You're stronger than that. And you can charge forward because you really do have balanced energy. Now, in terms of it being people, this will be a situation where possibly if somebody does come back from the past, or a memory comes back from the past, or a secret is unearthed, you own it and you say, yeah, that was true. That was me then, or that happened then, but I'm not that person anymore. And if someone tries to manipulate you, say, I'm sorry, I have no shame around this, because I know who I am now, and I am not going to be a victim of my past anymore. You just don't engage with them, possibly. And if it has to do with spiritual gifts, it's a matter of you knowing that you are the authority in your own life, and anything that you say goes. So when it comes to mediumship, if you feel for a second that you're connecting with a lower vibrational energy, is what I would refer to it as, you just shut down the session immediately. It's like, we're done here. Like, oftentimes you can call on it angelic energy, like Archangel Michael. Ask Archangel Michael to come in and remove all low vibrational energies and entities, and it will be done. Sage your home. Put up protective boundaries or barriers when you're working. Work with protective candles. Work with protective crystals. Make sure you're burning incense. I always have crystals. You'll never see me doing a reading where I'm not wearing my crystals. They help me feel grounded and protected. And I did have a tower moment experience too when I was stepping into my gifts, where I was more confronted with these lower vibrational energies, and I had to just stand my ground and say, no, we're done here. I'm in charge. You have no power. I'm never going to talk to you. So you can keep this up. But really, they truly don't have any power, and any scary image that comes into your mind or anything that you see, if that's your gift. Some people have clairvoyance and the gift of clear sight, and they're actually able to see things in real life, right? And if you do see things like that, that's just a mirage. That's an illusion. They don't actually look like anything like that. They look like their vibration. They're just an energetic vibration. And it's up to you how you allow them to present to you, and you can easily just redirect that. Like, I often try and just redirect my mind to tell myself, no, they just look like Dobby the house elf from Harry Potter. Things like that. You don't have to you don't have to take whatever imagery is coming to you at face value, right? You're in charge. You are the most powerful. You are the embodied person. So let me get a couple more cards, find out a little bit more about how you guys are going to overcome and slay this fear. How is pile number 2 going to slay this fear? How is pile number 2 going to slay and overcome this fear? One more card, please. How is pile number 2 going to slay this fear? One more card, please. Thank you. Oh, there were already 2. Okay, you guys got 3 cards. Oh my God, you got it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is connected with psychic abilities. Yes, cleanse your space, but cleanse your mind of the idea that lower vibrational energies or entities or people that are low vibrational have any kind of power over you. They don't. Have faith in your dreams, waxing, crescent, moon. Have faith that everything is moving in your favor, that anything that happens is an opportunity for you to grow, that you have grown. You have grown from your past experience, and you are not the same person that you were before. You've raised your vibration and new opportunities are coming to you. And then you got nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. So if there is sort of a sixth sense about possibly someone from the past coming back, like maybe somebody has reached out to you on Facebook or something, nothing is yet set in stone. Don't start panicking before something has actually started to happen, right? Like, don't start thinking, oh no, this person from the past is, liked one of my photos, that all of a sudden they're going to start reaching out to you and want something from you. It's not necessarily the way. And as far as nothing is yet set in stone in terms of the spiritual gifts, don't think for a second that if you're having trouble overcoming these fears, or, cleansing your space, or you're having trouble disconnecting from these lower vibrational energies, that it will always be like that, right? So if you're seeing scary things in your dreams, or, in real life, I mean, it's possible that you're seeing things in real life. Don't think that it's always going to be that way. You have to overcome this tower moment. You have to sort of also affirm your boundaries. Tell them to get the F out. They're not welcome. You don't have to talk to anyone that you don't want to, period. I don't care if they're alive or dead. That's the rule. So let me get some final cards. What final advice do your guides have for you? Let's see what you got. You have insight. Open the third eye to strengthen intuition. What? Yes. So many of you are psychics and you're afraid of your own gifts. You don't have anything to be afraid of. Honestly, everything is being overseen. It is traditional religions that make us think like there are two armies fighting against each other, the army of light and the army of darkness. But it's only kind of Christianity that sort of believes that. Like, every other religious practice in the entire world sees light and dark working in unison, that they each have their own reasons for being. So it doesn't mean that the darkness is, something you want to work with, or that it's a happy energy. It isn't, but it has a purpose, and it's here to help you see how strong you are. And you've got, oh my God, you got self-confidence, strong self-belief, and a sense of worth. As if you guys saw me flip that card over. It was down. I didn't see anything. That's insane. I love it. Yeah, it's here in your life at this time to show you how strong you are, to help you build your own sense of self-worth. Whoa! I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Definitely let me know how this resonates for you, and it'll also help you enter the contest. Don't forget about Zeke's reading. The link is in the comments, in the description box below. If anyone would like to work with me one-on-one, you can go to my website, odessamall.com. All of my services and booking information all are available there. I do tarot card readings, live and recorded. I also do spiritual coaching. So I can help you guys if you want to talk about what's going on with you. I can give you more precise advice and customize a plan for you to help you work through this. And grow your skills. I also do Reiki crystal healing, which could really help eliminate low vibrational energy, or any of cutting cords with people from the past, anything that's keeping you in a loop where you keep going back in your mind to painful things. I can help you with that. Reiki helps. It literally changed my life 100%. I always talk about that, but I cannot stress it enough. I was a complete skeptic, and I had a session done, and I literally, immediately began my Reiki training. And now, all these years later, I'm a master Reiki healer now, and I cannot tell you how important and transformative it is. I can also channel the Akashic records, your past life or your future life energy, and I can talk to your spirit guides and your ancestors. So thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome back. So you picked the Sage, And I want to let you know I'm running a contest this month. You can win a free mini reading with me. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, and then on the first of the month, I will announce the winner on my community tab. And I love chatting with you guys in the comments, so definitely let me know how this resonated. Oh, and this is a collaboration with Zeke from Trick or Treat Tarot. So if you would like to see his half of the reading, there's a link in the comments below, or sorry, in the description below. So let's see what you guys have. This is going to tell me what fear you're running away from, and then I will pull the tarot and we will find out how you're going to slay that fear. So you've got the Crone, Dreamer of Pentacles, which is like the Page of Pentacles, the Moon, the Hierophant, Connection, and Seven of Wands. Okay, so it feels like pile number 3 that you are changing. You're changing. Your heart and your mind are sort of at odds with each other, is the energy I'm getting. You may have been part of possibly an organized religion or part of a group of people that sort of were, I guess, very like organized in the way they saw the world. Like organized religion, although it is spiritual and mystical, there's a certain structure to it, and it can feel sort of rigid and formulaic to some, and the Hierophant represents that. But the Hierophant also represents any kind of organization that is very structured. It can be government, it can be, you know, the company that you work for, and it feels like you have been part of some organization or some formal structure, and I think that you've been part of it for quite a while. It could even be like the way just you see yourself in the world, and the way, you know, you see our existence, and you've had this frame of thinking, or you've been part of this organization for a really long time. And for a long time, everything was working, right? It was all connected. Everything made sense to you. You know, your heart and mind were one, and something has shifted. Something has changed for you. Secrets or deep-seated feelings or thoughts that are starting to come up to the surface, and you are starting to manifest things in your life that you didn't even contemplate before. With this Page of Pentacles, there's a lot of very magical energies on this card, talking about being able to communicate, get messages from the divine, and have increased intuition and empathy, and seeing us as all united and being part of one larger pack, and like being able to basically have the key, be able to see through to something deeper and more meaningful. And the Crone is the wise elder, connected with the maiden mother Crone, the triple moon goddess. This is very magical energy too, with the crow. And there's a Star of David here, which I talk about all the time. The two alchemical symbols superimposed on top of each other, fire and water, divine masculine, divine feminine. Something has shifted in you, and you don't resonate with the things that you used to, and it's scaring you. It's scaring you because you're feeling like you're going to have to go up against the people around you that were all thinking one way, you know, that didn't necessarily, you know, if it's part of an organized religion, you and your family for generations might have been part of the same religion and gone to the same church, and your whole social life is surrounded by like people that are part of that same group, and all of a sudden you are getting interested in magic and the mystical and religions from different parts of the world, and you're afraid the people that you used to associate with are going to think that you're evil, or there's, like, they associate it with something really negative. And that is really frightening to you. Or maybe it wasn't a religion. Maybe your religion was science. Maybe everything was about science. And now you're like, what are they going to think now that I'm having these thoughts? And maybe you're having more than thoughts. Maybe you're having actual synchronicities and mystical experiences where it's just feeling like there's something here. And you're afraid because you're like, how can I reconcile this with, like, the other people in my life, or even the other things that you thought in your life? Like thinking that there is no afterlife and that there is no meaning and everything is rooted in just the function of the brain. And if we can figure out the function of the brain, we'll know everything. And now that's all being brought into question. And you're concerned about that. And for some of you, there's strongly an energy coming forward about being an empowered woman. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you identify as a woman. It could just be your divine feminine energy, allowing that fiery divine feminine energy to start coming forward and taking charge, which will increase your intuition and your mystical knowledge. Just like that, right? It's like a doorway's opened in your mind and you know things you didn't know before. And you have connections with the earth in a way you didn't before. And you don't have to be a woman to have that experience. We all have divine feminine and divine masculine within us. And you might also be leaning more towards honoring the divine feminine. You might be more interested in women taking up leadership roles. Or you might be wanting to take up a leadership role. With the crone, this is a wise elder, a feminine wise elder. And you might be wanting to take a more active role to make change in the world. And you might actually be an elder. For some of you, you are in a later stage of your life and you're thinking, well, why would I want to get messed up in this now? Why don't I just have a quiet life and just, plant a garden and go on vacations and spend time with my family? Why am I getting all mixed up in all of this? And that's frightening to you because it's like it's a calling. You can't stop yourself. Things just keep changing and it's like you can see, the gray. Not everything is black and white anymore is the energy I'm getting. There's raccoons on this particular card, but they're not black and white. They're gray and gray. They're like a dark gray and a light gray. That's the energy I'm getting from you. Like you've had some sort of major manifestation. You've crossed a bridge in your life and there's no going back and it's terrifying you. And if it's not mystical knowledge, it could be in any area of your life, right? It could be all of a sudden you realize you don't want to be married anymore. You don't want to be in this relationship anymore. You don't want to be working this job anymore. You don't want to be living in this place anymore. You don't want to be hanging out with these people anymore. There's something that has shifted in you where your old reality, where everything was a certain way and you were comfortable with that, it's now sort of fading and dying and you don't know how to stop it. You don't know if you want to stop it. Part of you is terrified and definitely wants to put it, like, it's like they're, I'm looking at this and they just keep saying, like, putting the energy back in the box. But Pandora, once she opened that box, there's no going back, right? Like, that's the energy I'm getting, that you just are so wanting things to go back, but because I guess ignorance is bliss is kind of the energy I'm getting. You know something that you didn't know before and now you can't unknow it is the energy I'm getting, and you want to, Wow. So let me get some more cards and find out basically how you guys are going to release and slay this fear. How is pile number 3 going to slay this fear? How is pile number 3 going to slay this fear? Okay, let me get the card that fell on the ground. Oh, 2 cards on the ground. Okay, so let's see. There is definitely something that has been causing you a lot of pain. You've got the 10 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. So deep pain and betrayal. This could be someone doing something devious to you that really hurt you, you know, or just the wool being pulled from your eyes, because I just heard Woodward and Bernstein, which is like the Watergate scandal. They're the 2 reporters that uncovered the Watergate scandal. So I mean, this could be like you found a text message you didn't want to find, or you found out some information at your company about something devious they were doing, and now it's like you can't put, you know, you can't put this like secret back in the box. You can't just pretend that you didn't see or hear or know what you know now. It's out. And I think that to a certain degree you were sort of like whatever it is that was revealed to you, whatever was undiscovered or uncovered, you kind of had rumblings of this, the 4 of Cups, and you were sort of in denial about it. Maybe there were people sort of whispering about these secrets or things, and your intuition was telling you something, and you really were sort of fighting this with the 5 of Wands. Maybe you were defending your position. Like, I mean, this could be a situation where like you're working for a company and you find out that your boss, who you thought was amazing, was running a pyramid scheme. And you kind of thought that things were off. Like, I think of Bernie Madoff and like the people that were working for him, they kind of knew that something was off, but everything seemed like it was on the up and up, so they just kept going forward with it, and that's what it feels like. I mean, I don't think that it's a Bernie Madoff situation where there's a pyramid scheme necessarily, but it's kind of like you were saying, like, you were defending someone, and then it ended up stabbing you they ended up stabbing you in the back, or whatever it was that you were defending ended up truly being the deceit or the negativity that you had thought it wasn't. And it really is causing you, or it will cause you, once this comes out, to go into hermit mode and really have to do some self-reflection. And what's scary to you is that you don't know what the way forward is with this Son of Wands. You kind of have an idea, and in a way I think that you're almost a little bit excited about what this could do, what this could change for you. You know, you're afraid of it being uncovered. You're afraid of this truth being revealed. You're afraid of the pain that it's going to cause you. But at the same time, you're a little bit sort of hopeful and excited. You also got the 9 of Pentacles and the Sun. And this is talking about you being able to have ultimate happiness, a solid foundation full of joy and optimism, all of your material needs being met. You are filled with optimism and joy. But you are going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to listen to that intuition and start dreaming about the future and taking steps forward. And it may mean that you have to do some self-reflection and reevaluate what you thought before. you know? And for the energy that my guys are saying to me, that you need to forgive yourself. If you all of a sudden, you had been all science, everything science, and then all of a sudden you start having these mystical experiences and you're like, but I'm a hypocrite because I said all of this was nonsense. No, you're not wrong. You just grew. You just grew and you evolved, and that's okay, right? Science is constantly evolving and growing, right? They don't, like, I mean, there is legit science that is proven and backed studies, but there is plenty of science that is all theoretical. They are testing out theories and they are figuring things out. When they adjust and change, we don't say, you see, science is all wrong. But we do that all the time with religion or spiritual beliefs. We constantly are, using these like growth periods as a way of proving that it's all nonsense. You don't have to do that. Not everything has to be black and white, right? Like the raccoons. There can be gray in all of this. We don't have it all figured out. We're learning and growing. But you'll be a lot further ahead if you don't like chastise yourself for evolving and changing. What can you tell me about how can pile number 3 overcome this fear, slay this fear? Oh, you got 3 cards. Wow. Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. That is very, very, very powerful change. This is like spiritual awakening energy that's coming forward. You got balanced spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces. A personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. Cancer is also a water sign connected to the emotional body and intuition. It definitely feels to me like you are sort of torn between what was and, your old beliefs and what you're sort of evolving into now. You're really afraid that you're going to lose yourself to a certain degree. That if you give in to maybe this spiritual awakening that you're going through, that you are going to be a fool, is the energy I'm getting. But something is building. Something is about to happen, because with the eclipse energy, that is a major, major release. And then the full moon, like, you are going to have a major shift that is going to start building and building and building energy to the point where finally it just explodes and everything is different for you guys. Everything evolves and you have clarity. So let me get a couple final cards to just sort of get some guidance and advice for you on this journey. What can pile number 3 do to release this fear? Okay, you've got Earth. Earth, ask the element of Earth for grounding, stability, and strength in times of chaos. Yes, things will feel unsettled as you start to wrap your head around who you are now. And maybe it'll be a job loss or something like that, like something truly that is destabilizing in the physical world. But you are going to get to a place where you have that stability, as long as you just recognize that you, basically the earth is, and our lives are in a constant state of evolution and cycles. And, in this moment, if you can just stay calm, you will be able to see the pathway forward, and eventually everything will shift to a place of more peace. Perseverance, the motivation to keep going despite the odds. Yes, even if it feels unsettling, even if people are saying that you are nuts or they don't understand this or why are you making this change, persevere. You're doing it for a reason. You're being guided. And then finally, you got labyrinth, transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration, enlightenment. Yes, you are being led out of the maze. You're being led out of the darkness. It's not all going to be one linear path where it's like you have to walk this road. You get to now adapt your belief systems, adapt your life to who you are, this ever unfolding rose, this growing person that's allowed to shift and change perspectives. And when you do that for, yourself, it will change everything in your whole world. You'll start to see everything else that's going on around you in a different way. And it'll just bring you so much peace. It doesn't take away all the pain in the world, but it definitely takes a lot of the pressure off. It really, really does. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. This was such a pleasure. Definitely subscribe to the channel and comment on this video so I can get to know you guys better and you can enter the contest. Don't forget to watch the second half of this reading and check out Zeke's contribution. The link is below. And of course, I would love to work with you. If anyone is interested in working one-on-one with me, just go to my website, odessamall.com. All of my services and booking information are available there. I do tarot card readings, live and recorded. I also do spiritual coaching, where I can talk to you about basically anything that you're going through, and I can give you the metaphysical, mystical, magical, spiritual perspective on things. I also do Reiki, crystal healing, so transformative. I talk about it all the time. It was like the biggest step that I took in my journey. It was so transformative. And I also do channeling of the Akashic Records, which is your past lives or your future lives. It's like the energetic library of everything. And I can talk to your ancestors or your spirit guides, ascended masters, and do a channeled session for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care.